Ghosting is a popular term used to describe when someone simply disappears from someone else's life and cuts off all forms of communication with them. They don't give the ghosted person an explanation for their disappearance or any semblance of closure. They just disappear without a trace. INFJs are known for being kind, compassionate, and empathetic. So if you hear that an INFJ has ghosted someone, it may seem totally bizarre. But did you know that INFJs are more likely to ghost others as compared to other personality types? Shocking. Here are some mind-blowing reasons why INFJs ghost others. Number 8. They're young and immature. When an INFJ is younger and immature, they don't know how to handle their powerful emotions in a great way and are hence most likely to ghost someone permanently. This happens when the INFJ is not aware of their own emotions and isn't comfortable expressing their dissent. A young INFJ may try to express that they want things to change, but they may not be able to be assertive. The less healthy and mature INFJs have their shadow traits taken over them, which is why they might know that they are not making things clear to their partners or friends. While they may have an idea of showing respect and appreciation in a relationship, they don't fully realize that others may not have the same standards as them. They misunderstand this difference and feel like people don't care or are not listening to them, when in reality they just communicate differently. So an INFJ who has not matured or developed their functions is more likely to ghost someone. From their perspective, they're not ghosting someone, since they feel like they were clear about their needs and intentions. Number 7. They are avoiding confrontation. An INFJ's personality, like anyone else, determines how they deal with and react to certain people and situations. While some people are innately good at communicating with others and opening up about their feelings if they feel they're not being appreciated, INFJs are typically good at expressing themselves. In addition to this, INFJs are calm individuals and seek peace in everything they do. This means that they detest arguments with their whole heart and avoid confrontation of any sort. In fact, they'll do anything to avoid situations that could lead to an argument for hours. These arguments can be draining for an INFJ, no matter with whom they're arguing. If the INFJ believes that the alternative to ghosting is just an endless series of draining arguments because the other person will not understand their side of things, then ghosting seems like the only viable option and way out to them. Number 6. They need to take a step back. This aspect usually applies to relationships. Sometimes an INFJ may need to hit pause in their relationship to think back and reflect on where the relationship is going. They may decide to take a break so that they can make a decision in a calm and cool manner without their or their partner's emotions getting in the way of things. Sometimes an INFJ may begin feeling that their relationship is not right for them and may be doubtful whether they should end things and look for a new partner or keep trying. In this case, taking a step back and temporarily stopping communication helps them look at things from a bigger perspective. It helps an INFJ to get in touch with their own feelings without letting high-strung emotions cloud their judgment. This way, they can think about their relationship in a more objective and practical manner and make a decision that is beneficial to both them and their partner. Number 5. They're in hermit mode. At some point in their lives, the introverted nature of the INFJ simply yearns for some solitude, so they make a spontaneous decision to spend a few weeks or a few months in complete isolation, away from the hustle and bustle of their draining lives. This is commonly referred to as the hermit mode, and while any Myers-Briggs personality type may decide to opt to go all solo, intuitive introverts or INFJs and INFPs in particular are more likely to lean toward it. As you may already know, INFJs are committed to their goals, and when they have a goal in mind, whether it's a new project, climbing up the career ladder, or a spiritual goal, they devote all their time and energy toward accomplishing it. They put their most determined foot forward, but they believe that if they don't go all in, something will distract them. Because their introverted nature is paired with a highly perceptive side, other people can be a huge distraction for INFJs. So during hermit mode, they will simply avoid social interactions because they want to invest their energy into renewing their lease in life. Sometimes, however, an advocate in hermit mode may realize that they no longer want to spend time with some of the people they've ghosted and may decide to make the ghosting permanent. Number 4. Depression or stress. When an INFJ goes through a tough time in their lives, for example, if they're dealing with too much stress or mental health issues, they may just decide to ghost people. Since INFJs are introverted by nature, when stressed, they may feel like they need to suspend all or nearly all social interactions until they begin feeling better. The negative effect of this is that they begin to ghost those whom they know, regardless of how close they are with them. This usually happens when their shadow traits take over, since INFJs know that interacting with others and expressing their feelings can actually help them deal with the problem at hand. However, since they do belong to the judging type, they can be quite stubborn. As a result, when they go through a tough time, they may decide to avoid all people no matter the cost. This is one of those times when an INFJ's behavior is not associated in any way whatsoever with another person. In this case, INFJs don't ghost people because they have been hurt or disappointed. They ghost others since they believe they're in a phase that they need to go through on their own. Number 3, they're surrounded by toxic people. As kind and compassionate INFJs are, they too draw the line somewhere. INFJs have absolutely no tolerance for people who only take and do not give. This includes energy vampires, emotional clingers, compulsive talkers, narcissists, and extremely selfish people in general. INFJs have zero tolerance for these kinds of people and will cut them out of their lives as soon as they observe some red flags that go against what they believe in. Since INFJs are sensitive, empathic, and highly perceptive of others' emotions, they easily burn out if they spend time with toxic people who will drain their energy. So if they observe a few warning signs, they decide that the person they have been interacting with no longer belongs in their life. To avoid unnecessary explanations and pointless arguments, which can further drain their energy, INFJs simply ghost these toxic people out of the blue without any warning. They will end all contact and cut them out of their lives completely. Number 2, mental and physical exhaustion. Introversion, intuition, feeling, and judgment. INFJs are predominantly introverted, just like their acronym says. This means that they typically tend to direct their energy toward their inner selves most of the time and in most situations. So interacting with the same person or group of people for extended periods of time or experiencing too many things or stimulants in a short span of time can be draining for an INFJ. This concept applies to them even if they enjoy spending time with a specific person or group of people. In this case, the INFJ may not go into hermit mode but may decide to temporarily ghost a person or set of people because they need time to recharge and rejuvenate themselves in complete solitude away from other people. It is important to remember that in this case, the ghosting is temporary and it doesn't mean that the INFJ no longer likes a person. They just need time to relax and regenerate, something which wouldn't be possible with other people around because of their introverted nature. Number 1, resentment. INFJs are highly sensitive and can get hurt easily, whether it's because of people's actions or words. However, as mentioned earlier, they hate any form of confrontation and will steer clear of arguments at all costs. So if someone acts in a disrespectful way, demeaning manner, or says something hurtful to an INFJ, they will hide their feelings and pretend like nothing is wrong. It is important to note here that the other person involved may not even realize that they're hurting the INFJ. Regardless of immediate reaction or the lack thereof on the part of the INFJ, they will still take action to protect their emotional and mental energy. They will build up high walls to protect themselves from the person who hurt them without expressing how they feel. In some cases, they may determine that ghosting is the best solution, whether temporary or permanent. This will depend on how much they have been hurt, regardless of what the other person's actual intentions were. Have you ever been ghosted by an INFJ? Are you an INFJ who has ghosted someone for one of the reasons mentioned above? Comment below. As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology.